Hello. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I feel like when it comes to Fallout 4 audio mods, there's a lot and it's all over the place, and some of the descriptions, especially on Nexus, are sort of quite finicky, so finding exactly the right thing can be hard at times. But also I still see people using old versions of things, for instance the reverb and ambience overhaul, and I just wanted to basically make this video on how to improve the atmosphere, immersion, and the realism. Kind of, that's what we're going for, is just a more gritty version of vanilla, but it can enhance any other sound or, you know, weapon mods, etc. that you have. And with the release of the series, I assume there'll be people coming back to it, maybe new people playing it, and this will just allow everyone to be able to get the best audio experience and setup that you can. I've also created a full article which is linked in the description, and this basically just lists all the mods with all the links so you can download them all and pick and choose which ones you want, because the list ends up being very modular. So what we'll do is I'll go through the mod list, explain what each of the mods do, and then go through a comparison of entirely stock vanilla default volume sliders to modded with my tweaked sliders. And then at the end I'll show you an example of one of the new sliders working, and just that will have the audio slider set up in there as well. Okay, so mod list, I've minimized the rest. We're just going to go through the audio mods. So firstly, immersive Pip-Boy radio. This just makes it so the Pip-Boy radio is affected by reverb. Just gives it a bit more oomph, immersion. Dog meets paw steps, reduces the click clack of his nails. Again, if you've played vanilla, that gets infuriating after a while. No longer out of breath, silent sprint. It just means that after a certain period of sprinting, instead of that heavy breathing noise, it would just be quiet. Silent protagonist. It gets rid of all the voice lines for the player. Some people prefer this, I prefer this. But if you're strictly vanilla, then you can turn this off and you'll have the voice lines. Die in silence. This has two parts, the male and female, which means that when raiders die, they don't make any weird like erg noises after they've had their head exploded. It'll just be silent. Again, a bit more realistic. Physics impact overhaul. This revamps all the audio for bullet casings, bottles, cases, shopping carts, fans, bins, etc. So they all sound a bit more realistic, also sort of bumps the volume, and just, yeah, makes all the objects sound more like they're grounded in the world. Realistic reverb and ambience. I'll just go through these three together. So this is my updated version of MM137's mod. It rolls all the patches from various people and lost audio tweaks. Some of those are in there into one, plus extras. Makes some more stuff affected by reverb that should be, and yeah, rolls it all into one. Has the patch for true storms as well in there, so if you use that, it's in there. And yeah, I've also set the sliders So it already starts at what I would consider the most realistic for the reverb and the ambience volume, so you don't have to touch it, just install it and go. The two patches are if you have physics impact overhaul and if you have the NPC footsteps overhaul. This just adds volume sliders for both of these in the menu, and then with persistent volume sliders it means that the positions of those will save when you adjust them. Reduced interior wind and rumble just reduces all of the indoor noise and wind. So again, just sort of lowers the bed, makes it so it's just not as overpowering, and the focus then goes to, you know, actual objects and player and NPCs, things going on within the environment. So rather than you're focusing on the wind, it's like footsteps, guns, you know, turrets, Radiant birds and radiant birds less radiant. You need this one to install this one, but this just adds a load more bird noises for the gulls and crows, and then less radiant just reduces the volume of those a bit. Scarier Geiger counter, it's just a more realistic ticking when there's radiation. I go for the quieter version personally, but again, this just adds to the atmosphere, a bit more realistic when you're going through radiated areas. Quieter settlements, this is like an all-in-one, and it reduces the audio of turrets, hammering, and a few other things when you're in the settlements. Quieter ambient wind, this reduces again the bed of wind but outside, so it's a lot lower. You can still hear it slightly. The main weather gusts of wind that come in and out sort of a bit less frequently, they're still there, which they should be, but the constant track underneath is lowered by this, which is required, I'd say. Project Reality footsteps, most people use this. It's just a much more enhanced footstep audio for the player across all the different surfaces, and then I just personally like to use this. If you want to go strictly vanilla, you can just disable this one. Pip-Boy flashlight, it's the Metro sound, so from the Metro series games, it's the click on and off when you're turning it on and off. Persistent volume sliders, this moves all the vanilla audio sliders into MCM, and then allows the audio sliders in the settings to be for extra mods. So you've then got one for reverb and ambience, true storms, these two patches now, and the resound project, which is further down. NPC gun sounds, immersive and intense. Again, if you're not using a weapons overhaul that replaces the gun sound and you just want the vanilla weapon sounds, use this and it will just bump up the NPC gun sounds. So it uses the sounds from first person, like as if the player was shooting the gun, and applies it to the NPCs. So then nothing sounds like tinny and rubbish. It sounds like everyone's shooting the same guns. NPC footstep overhaul raises all the footstep audio, and yeah, it just makes it much easier to track people through buildings and further away. Only thing is, it's slightly too loud, which is why I added the patch, and you can adjust to however loud you want them. Nostromo terminal, this changes all the terminal sounds to the sounds from Alien, so all the computer noises and stuff from Alien. Personally, this is just a really nice sort of, if you've played through vanilla loads of times and you're bored of the originals, this is a nice improvement, but still fits within the world. No sound perk menu, gets rid of the perk menu sounds when you're going through and leveling up. Horrigles, most people have heard of this, but I've made a normalized sound pack, so it just brings everything down so it's not peaking way above what it should. So all the screams now sound the same as like a hit noise from them, for instance. So you don't have to constantly adjust the volume when the horror-ghoul is like, or just the ghoul in general is close to you. Again, very good pack, but it just needed adjusting so it sits well in the overall soundscape. No more cash register, level up, So cash register is the ka-ching you get every time you kill an enemy or get XP. Pain in the ass, not realistic. This just gets rid of it. No level up sound, so again, when you level up, don't need to hear that. Legendary pickup sound, it's that kind of like really deep string noise when you pick up a comic or a legendary item. It just gets rid of the sound in the background. Legendary enemy mutation sound, I think just having the visual of knowing they've switched, and then usually if I play survival with all of health bars turned off, don't want to be hearing this for the sort of realism and immersion. No discovery sound effect, so again, when you walk into a new area that you haven't been, it doesn't play a noise, which again is just adds to the realism. Mute and silence ambient audio effects, so vault rumble and wood creaks. I don't mind the vault rumbling, I think that adds to the atmosphere, but I do mute the wood creaks in any sort of wood locations just because they get annoying after a while. Melee impact and bullet impact overhaul. They're both by Giamotto again, who did physics impact overhaul, but I haven't tried the new versions where he's reduced the audio. These were very loud before, so I just turned them off, but for the sake of the video I've just left them off because this is what everything I was using before, and I didn't see the new versions, so I'd try them out, and then obviously if you like them, keep them on. If not, leave them off. But overall, what they do is really good, but I don't know if they're too loud still. Jolly item sounds overhauls all the item pickup sounds, so each individual item has a different sound. So like wrenches, screwdrivers, tools, they all have a different item pickup sound to like bottles and Nuka Cola and stuff. They'll sound like sort of sloshy little bottles. Immersive bullet time sound effects. This replaces the VATS like startup noise with just a heartbeat, and using this with the VATS replacer, VAFS, so it just changes it to bullet time basically, makes it much more immersive in terms of if you want like a slow-mo bit. So again, you'll sort of go into it, it'll just be a heart beating, it'll slow down, and then when you're coming out of it, it's sort of like the heartbeat speeds back up. Hush Dog Me, no sounds while sneaking, again really good while you're crouched and trying to sneak around. If you want dog meat around, you know, the dog would be being quiet as well, like it wouldn't just be sitting there whining whilst you're, you know, trying to sneak around. High-tech audio distortion fix. This vastly reduces an issue that I found where going in between certain areas in the high-tech environments, because the ambient bed in those is so bassy, I've just done like a low pass filter, cut all the bass out, and then left the bed there so you can hear how the ambient sounds, but there's just all the bass removed. So when you move between rooms, if there's other audio sounds stacking, so like you're shooting a gun whilst moving through the rooms, you won't get that hideous pop or crackle. Fallout 4 resound project guns. only found this recently. I think it's by Reese SFX. This is the best like overhaul for if you've just got sort of strictly vanilla guns and you just want everything done. NPC gun sounds, all the reload sounds, and all the audio for, you know, the actual guns shooting. It doesn't sound too overblown. All the audio is on point. It has its own volume slider when you're using persistent with the rest of them. And yeah, if you're sick of vanilla weapon audio, this just is amazing. Better vertebra sound just changes the engine and rotor noises and makes them a bit more realistic, a bit more impactful. Again, just adds to immersion. Ambient wasteland, this is required by realistic reverb and ambience. I've taken all the audio files are used, and then the ESP is replaced by my mod, and I've just cut out audio that doesn't exist in the actual world, apart from cicadas and some flies and stuff, because that sort of enhances, even though you wouldn't see them, like they could be there. So it gets rid of like the screaming dogs, explosions and stuff. So anything you hear in the world is an actual explosion or gunshot from somewhere and someone. No more combat music. This, even if you have music at 0, there's the extra combat music, and this just gets rid of that. So if you like having the normal music but not the weird combat music, you can get rid of it with this. Disable a lower menu music. Again, just instead of being hit by the theme at full blast, you can just change it. I usually have it off, or I'd recommend like 25%. Pip-Boy sound overhaul is just, again, really good overhaul that still fits with the world. So again, just nice improvement on the sounds that the Pip-Boy makes. Disable dog meat whining. This gets rid of all the extra whining when not in sneak. So the hush dog meat one, yeah, gets rid of all of the sound while sneaking. But this works with the horse steps mod and just removes the whining, so you get sort of barking, item discovery, like him being interested in stuff, but no whining. Can chime disarm. Again, instead of getting that weird jangly like ka-ching sound when you disarm, it's just gets rid of it. And annoying Metal Creek, again, just helps with the atmosphere. So in downtown where there's all the skyscrapers, it gets rid of the massive Metal Creek. The last mod that's not in Vortex is binaural 3D surround sound. And what this does is just sort of emulates a better 3D soundstage. So it will place objects, NPCs, and any audio basically within a sort of 360-degree range. So you can kind of pinpoint sounds a lot better. To install this, you just want to manually download it, whack it in your downloads. Once you open it, you'll get these two, or this file and this folder, and you want to go to your Fallout 4 folder and just chuck them in there. Doesn't need to go in data, just needs to go in the main folder, and that's it. It'll just work.
Giant roaches? What the hell?
choosing Vault Tech. Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please stand back. Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself?
You wanna come with me, pal?
Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please! group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
No more British occupation.
What do we do with you?
Going to enjoy.
You lost the Have your key back, you!
Where'd that little fucker go?
By the crown! Back to no taxation without representation! Do it by sea! Come on, dolls! In Adams! Awake, men of Middlesex! The King's regulars are coming out!
No more British occupation.
What do we do with you? You lost the back name! Have your key back, you!
Playing games with me, huh?
Back to your homes! No taxation without representation! Remember, lads, do it by sea!
Show your face! Come on! I did.
Awake, men of Middlesex! The King's regulars are coming out!
I'm telling you, man, let's just get the hell out of here. We got no reason to hang around and get shot.
Stop being such a fucking pansy. We hold out for the others like we're supposed to.
What are you, deaf? Somebody's out there shooting the place up. I ain't sitting around waiting to die.
I swear to God, you make a move for that exit, and I'll gut you myself. Now shut your mouth, or we'll never get the drop on this guy. What the fuck was that? I'm coming in there, and we're gonna skin every last one of you!
Come on, man. They ain't going nowhere. We got other shit to deal with.
You hear that? I gotta go take a little walk, but I'll be back, and you'll be dead. Hey! Peekaboo!
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
God damn it.
Glad to help.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Maybe? I'm telling you, man, let's just get the hell out of here. We got no reason to hang around and get shot.
Stop being such a fucking pansy. We hold out for the others like we're supposed to.
What are you, deaf? Somebody's out there shooting the place up. I ain't sitting around waiting to die.
one of you.
Come on, man. They ain't going nowhere. We got other shit to deal with.
You hear that? I gotta go take a little walk. But I'll be back, and you'll be dead.
What the?
Come on.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Maybe.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Okay, so we're in Super Duper Mart. Here's an example of the sliders working. So if I then change the physics overhaul to 0, you don't get any noise from the carts, no shell casings from guns. So that's the end. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you found it valuable. If you're wondering about the sort of basic visual setup that I've got running on the video, I'll just list in the description what mods I'm using. And yeah, enjoy your lovely audio experience.